A woman driving down the road in the middle of the night when suddenly her car stops from a flat tire. Apparently, she did hit some glass or debris on the road someone left from a broken beer bottle. She gets out of the car and looks at the flat tire. It's busted. She begins to walk for about 8 minutes when she hears someone say, "Don't go away, come back." The girl quickly speeds up and keeps walking. She never stops for strangers. The girl keeps walking for another 10 minutes when she hears a man's voice again. "Don't go away, come back." The girl who never stops for strangers speeds up. She walks a few more minutes and then she noticed some lights in the distance. It's the lights from a gas station. She heads to the gas station quickly. She enters into the station, tells the manager she has a flat tire and he says he will fix it. The manager calls up his assistant from the back, Bill Martin, to fix the flat. The manager, Tom Johnson, says Bill can fix the flat in under 15 minutes. Bill Martin tells the lady he will fix her flat and asks her to show him the way to the car. The lady pays the manager $25 for the flat tire fix, and they head out to the car. They get outside and the lady hears a voice. "Come back, don't go away." The lady tells the assistant. The lady asks the assistant, "Do you hear that?" Bill Martin says yes. Let's quickly get to the ride. Bill Martin and the lady keep walking until they get to the car. They get to the car and in under 15 minutes, Bill Martin fixes the flat tire. He tells the woman she had better head on home with that stranger out there calling her to come back. He tells the woman his house is a short distance away and that she can stop by there, drop him off first, and that he or she could even make a phone call to the cops about the stranger who's been calling her to come back. She could do this before heading back to her home, which is a longer distance away. Sure, she says, the sooner we get the cops, the better. Bill and the lady drive in the car for about 20 minutes when they reach Bill's house and he says stop. He tells the lady he is getting out of the car to call the cops and tell them about the flat and the stranger. He invites the lady in for some tea and cookies, but she refuses to stay, so he asks her to wait a few minutes while he makes the phone call, just in case he needs to get some information from her. She says okay and waits in the car. The man goes in and pretends to make a phone call when he is really going to get a knife to stab the lady. Suddenly the lady sees the stranger in the distance running toward her, hollering, "Come back, don't go." The lady sees the man down the road and quickly runs into the house, knocking on the door. The man opens it. Bill Martin opens the door, and she enters in quickly. She slams the door behind her and hollers for Bill Martin to lock it. She says she saw the stranger. Bill Martin quickly locks the door. Bill Martin then looks out the door's peephole to see if he can see the stranger, but he doesn't see anyone. He tells the woman to wait. He is going to get a flashlight to check to see if he can see the stranger, but he doesn't. Then he goes upstairs to get a knife to stab the lady. No one's going to save her. There's no one but him and maybe the stranger who ran off, who was probably a thief looking to steal the lady's purse. He puts on a mask he grabs from his upstairs bedroom and grabs his knife and heads back downstairs to stab the lady. Surprise, surprise, lady, ha! I fooled you. It's Halloween. He raises his hands in the air with the knife to stab the lady when suddenly there's a loud bam! Bam! And the window on the wall comes crashing in. A tall 6-foot man comes crashing in, landing into Bill Martin's chest, knocking him into the ground. The villain, Bill Martin, gets back up and sees the stranger and tries to stab him with his knife. But the stranger grabs his hand before he can stab him and blasts him with a strange ray from his hands into Bill's chest, knocking him back onto the ground. Bill gets back up, rushes with the knife again, only to be blasted by some strange eye beams coming from the stranger's mask, knocking him back to the ground. Bill lies on the ground for a moment, gets back up again, grabs his knife, and rushes at the stranger. The masked stranger retaliates. He grabs Bill Martin's hand he uses to hold the knife, lifts Bill Martin above his head, and uses his super strength and slams him to a wall, causing him to hit his head on the wall, knocking him out. Bill Martin lies on the ground unconscious. The masked stranger tells the lady, I know you don't believe in superheroes, but that is who I am. He tells the lady to call the police. He will watch Bill Martin, then he explains to the lady who he is and how he got his powers. He is an ROTC Army officer who received powers through an experimental bomb that an ROTC scientist created. He used the bomb in a war mission, threw it at some soldiers who outsmarted him and threw it back, causing it to explode and its experimental radiation rays to embed into his body. He survived the blast, but it gave him superpowers. Lucky him than the bad guys, right? He had super strength, agility, and could emit strange energy blasts from his body. He decided to become a vegan superhero for the time being, or until he decides what to do with his powers. There are sirens and the police come. The lady goes outside to speak to the cops while the masked stranger runs back out the wall with the broken window. He runs into the backyard, does a flip, and the strange superhero stands so the cops will see it and believe the lady. And believe the lady's story about her seeing a superhero. Then he heads off into the woods before the cops can catch him to make his escape. It's great to be a superhero, he says, before disappearing off into the woods.